All right, thank y'all for tuning into the Rolling Grill. Y'all see it right here, smoke leg of lamb. Let's get to it. Yeah, boy! All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get this marinade built. So what we're going to start off with is a half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. We have a third a cup of crushed garlic, and we have a fourth a cup of lemon juice. And then we have 1 tablespoon of dried oregano. And then, of course, we have our salt and pepper blend. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm basically going to add everything into the bowl. You can definitely add more garlic if you want more garlic. You can definitely add more oregano. This is a pretty big leg of lamb, so I could have gone with probably 2 tablespoons of oregano. But you want to just add everything up really good. Probably best to do this the night before so that everything has a chance to really blend together. But it's a very good marinade. All right, we're going to carry that on with 1 tablespoon, like I said, of dried oregano. You can use fresh if you want to. I just think the dried works better in this application. And, of course, you're going to hit it with some salt and pepper to bring it all together. And at this point, you just want to mix it up. You want to mix it up. And honestly, you could double the recipe and actually use some of this to baste the meat with during the cooking process if you wanted to. This is a very good marinade. Would be excellent on chicken as well. That's it. Okay, what we have here is a 9.5 pound bone-in leg of lamb. I'm not going to do any trim work on it. I'm not going to take the fat cap off. Nothing. The fat cap looks good on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this marinade and run a thin layer of marinade over this leg of lamb. Also, after that, I'm going to put it in what I have here is a 2.5 pound Ziploc bag. This thing will fit in there perfect. So before I do that, though, I am going to go ahead and lay a thin layer of this marinade directly onto the leg of lamb. Just making sure I rub it in, get it in all the crevices, because I'm not going to have a lot of room within this Ziploc bag to really rub it in. So I just want to go ahead and get a thin layer on there first. And then after I put this thin layer on there, I'm going to go ahead and season it and then drop it in the bag. Okay, we added our thin layer. Now let's go ahead. This is just a simple SP blend. That's salt and pepper. I'm going to go on pretty heavy, just like I would treat a brisket. This is a big leg of lamb, deep cut of meat. It could take some salt and pepper. So don't be afraid to get in there with it. All right, now we're going to go ahead and grab our 2.5 pound Ziploc bag. These are nice size bags. They'll hold this one pretty good. The bone will be hanging out just a smidget, but we'll get it tucked in there pretty tight. All right, now that we have it in this 2.5 pound Ziploc bag, let's go ahead and pour the rest of the marinade in there. You just want to try to work it in as best you can. You don't have a lot of room to move around in these 2.5 Ziploc bags. It's probably about the biggest bag you'll find within the grocery store. But if you need to, double up on the recipe, depending on what size leg of lamb that you get. I think this may be just enough to do what I need to do with it. And that's basically it. We're going to leave it in this bag and put it in the refrigerator. We're going to let this marinate for a total of 8 hours before we put it on the pit. All right, very important. Before you put it in the refrigerator, make sure you poke some holes in this meat so that marinade can seep deep down in there. I should have done this before I even rubbed it down. But you definitely want to poke some holes all over this leg of lamb so that marinade can penetrate and get in there real deep. Again, this is a dense, deep cut of meat. So you definitely want to do this part. And then just zip it back up, squeeze all the air out, put it right back in the refrigerator. All right, while the lamb is marinating, let's go ahead and make a tzatziki sauce. We're going to start with an English cucumber. This is seedless. We got a lemon right here. Going to go ahead and cut this English cucumber in half. Now, if you have a peeler, of course, use a peeler. I don't have a peeler. I'm going to go old school. This is how I used to cut potatoes and vegetables back in the day. So we're going to go ahead basically and just peel these 2 halves of English cucumber up. Dice them up real fine, and you'll see the rest of it. I'm going to zip through this piece right here. All right, now that we have these cucumbers peeled, I'm going to go ahead and dice them up. If you have a grater, though, you could just work these cucumbers up against the grater and get a nice fine grate on this cucumber. Because, again, you want this cucumber as thin and as small as you possibly can. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dice them up. Like I said, I don't have all that fancy equipment, so I'm gonna go ahead and dice them up, and then we'll add them to our sieve, and I'll show you the next step. All right, again, we're gonna chop them up as fine as we can. Again, if you want some texture in your tzatziki and you don't mind thicker pieces of cucumber, then skip this step altogether, and just chop it up as big or as little as you want it. But at this point, we're gonna go ahead and drop it in our sieve right here, because basically what this is gonna do is we're gonna drain the moisture out of this cucumber. You don't want a wet tzatziki sauce, so we're gonna go ahead and get this in this sieve, drain this moisture out. We're gonna go ahead and hit it with a little bit of salt. All right, we're gonna work the salt in. The salt is gonna draw out the moisture, and that's what's gonna be left right here at the bottom of this bowl. Okay, after about 30 minutes, this is all the juice that you're left with. Gonna go ahead and dump this off, move on to the next step. All right, let's go ahead and make this tzatziki sauce. All right, first things first, we're gonna start off with 3 cups of Greek yogurt. Very important that you use Greek yogurt. If you use that other stuff, then you're gonna have to strain all the moisture out of it. So 3 cups of Greek yogurt. Next is 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic. Next, you want the juice of a half a lemon. All right, next is hit it with some salt and pepper. At this point, you could add chopped dill in there. I don't have dill, I have mint. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some mint as well. All right, a few squirts of some good extra virgin olive oil. Okay, folks, you want to work it in real good. Best to make this probably a day ahead of time, or at least a few hours prior to using it, so that those flavors have time to really mesh and mesh together. And then this is what you're left with, man. Some beautiful, delicious tzatziki. In the refrigerator it goes. All right, so we got a chimney full of charcoal. I'm actually running the Cowboy brand of hardwood briquettes. And I've got a piece of oak and a piece of cherry in there. I'm going to be cooking indirect. Heat to the left, leg of lamb right here. Y'all stay tuned. Yeah, boy. Okay, folks, after 8 hours of marinade, this is what we're looking at. Smells really good. You can smell that lemon, olive oil, or garlic. Man, it's a good marinade, man. So there's nothing else left to do but to go ahead and take it to the pit. Let's go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this leg of lamb on the pit. I'm cooking indirect. As you can see, I have my charcoal and I have my oak and cherry wood right there. I'm gonna be running the pit at right about 275 for the next 2 hours, and then I'm gonna come out and check on it. So y'all stay tuned. All right, after 2 hours, let's check it out. It's a nice color. It's got some pretty nice color. Let's check the temperature. Nope, we're still not there. We're gonna take it off probably about 125, 130. So we're gonna keep on rocking and rolling. I'll come back out and check it in an hour. All right, y'all, we are good to go. I just temped this thing out at 130 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, stick it in the Yeti cooler, and let it rest for about an hour. And then we'll cut it. Y'all stay tuned. Thing is beautiful. And we are done. It's been an hour. You can look at it. I mean, it's got good color, good bark. I mean, it smells real good. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take this, wrap it up, stick it in the Yeti cooler, and let it rest for about an hour. All right, we got it wrapped up. Gonna set it right there in the Yeti cooler and let it rest for an hour. And then be sure to slice. Stay tuned. All right, it's been an hour in the Yeti cooler. Nice and warm. Oh man, it smells real good. We got some good juice pooling in the bottom right here. So ain't nothing left to do but to go ahead and get this thing sliced up. Look at that thing, y'all. So y'all stay tuned. Let's go ahead and slice this up. All right, y'all, very important that all these drippings you see, please don't throw that away. This is gonna come in handy during the cutting process, so stay tuned for that. But don't throw these drippings away at all. Okay, what we all been waiting for, man. Now it's time to cut this thing. You just want nice, thin slices. Nice, thin slices all you want. Man, if you could smell it, if you could smell that oak and cherry wood coming off of this thing. So I'm not gonna bore y'all with a bunch of talking. Y'all just sit back and check it out. All right, y'all. These are the beautiful drippings that I mentioned earlier. You got a combination of the marinade, the seasonings, the meat drippings all in one. So we're going to go ahead and build a sandwich. I've got diced tomatoes, sliced red onions, tzatziki sauce, crumbled feta, and our hot pita. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all watch. All right, folks, and there you have it. A beautiful smoked leg of lamb, beautiful pita. As always, I want to thank y'all for joining me at the Rolling Grill. And as always, good food, good vibes. Yeah, boy.